Hello again, all my favorite coder cats and coder kittens. Welcome back for another week where I, Becca, going by Netcats Meow most places online, am here to talk to you once again about Linden scripting language. This is our workshop series where every lesson is a project and every project a lesson. We will be picking up where we left off last week, adding to the sim positioning system. And because I will be setting it up to be able to track more than one target this time, I have a special guest with us today. This is a good friend of mine, both online and off. Goes by a few different things, usually either Blast Radius or Vitaminder. Most of y'all probably don't know her, except those of you that know me in person. Most of those who know me in person do know her. So hope y'all are happy as I am to have her around. So hello, Vital. Camera's on you, so you can say hello.
Hello. Hi.
So I asked her to come along this time because when we set it up to track more than one person, it helps to have somebody who'll be moving around. Now, anybody that hasn't looked at last week's video, where I also included the texture for this point, this thing will actually track our relative position in the sim by converting it into a texture offset. Now, I realize I didn't do the best job in the world explaining how the texture offset part, how the math for it worked last time, so I'm going to cover that again. I talked about making it a percentage just because I thought that was a good way to think about it. In fact, that's part of how I came to think about it, which is why we start off with float x, which is where. Where is acquired from get position. Dot x means just the x coordinate. Same thing over here. Y is where y. And as a recap, by the way, the calc, which is the function I wrote to actually calculate the position, it sends get position here, which is because this expects a vector called where, which is where we get the where here. And then the x and y position statements, the x is divided by 256 because that is the maximum number. From one corner of the sim all the way at, which will be treated as 0.0, all the way to the side would be 256. To make a percentage, as we covered last week, you would multiply that by 100. So the bare middle would be 0.5 or 50%. And then a texture offset goes 0 is the middle, as opposed to 0.5 is the middle. So we simply adjusted by subtracting 0.5, meant that the middle will show up in the middle. And then it will go up or down to either 0.5 or 0.5, depending on how it goes from there. That's just a recap of the math. Now we're going to get on to how do we actually get the other person's position in here. That's relatively easy. We're going to take the device we already made. With Control-Shift-L, we're going to unlink the two parts. We're then going to drag and copy. That's hold Shift and drag this piece forward. We're going to recolor this one from green to red. And we're going to relink everything. When we put it back on the HUD, these will overlap perfectly. Right now, they're not because it makes it easier to manipulate the individual pieces. But when we put it back on the HUD, it will overlap exactly. So all we really need to do is we need to change where we get the vector for where. So instead of get position, we're going to need to get another avatar's position. So popping open Google here. Get object details. As I so often advocate, you can just copy directly off the wiki the specific code here, so you don't have to worry about remembering exactly how something is spelled. As you've seen how many times I've screwed up the spelling on something, and I've done enough stuff in text roleplay with Blast over here, you know that she can tell you how bad I am at spelling stuff.
No comment.
It's okay. They have seen me screw up the typing of very specific syntax more times than I particularly care to remember. But if you're looking at this particular thing, you can scroll down to the different properties you can get, because the arguments it takes are a key, which is what it is you're getting the details about, and parameters, which come out as a list. So the only one we actually need is object position. So where it says list parameters, since it's expecting a list, you do put it in the brackets, object position. Now key ID. Later I can go over how to actually get this dynamically, but we're going to do this the easy way. I am going to click on my friend here, choose to bring up her profile, and just Control-C, Control-V, her key right there. Now this is going to be presented as a list, so we're going to say list deets equals. And so you all can see what's actually produced, say string deets, and save. Forgot to put the quotation marks around her key and to identify the channel we're going to speak on. Often I'll use owner say for these, but since I've got her right here, I don't want her to not see what's going on. So right there, you see it is every second it's churning out what her position is. To us, this is the vector right here. However, that is not how the system recognizes it. As far as the system is concerned, this is a list. That list, however, has only one item in it. So, what we're going to do is we're going to now make a conversion vector position.
There's probably a handful of things, but
none of them are goofing around in Second Life.
No.
So here we're setting the calc get position. We'll replace the get position with the vector position and remove the part that's declaring it. That gets rid of our message spam, and it is now sending the vector created here into the calc function up here the same way we were sending get position before. And this is a perfect example of why it is considered best practices when writing code to create a separate function for anything you're going to reuse. In this case, all I had to do was come up with the code to actually get Blast's position and plug it into the function call down here the same way I did the other one, and it's up to date. So I'm going to take this, put it back on my HUD the same way it was before. There it is, the two of us very close together. Now Blast, would you kindly head out onto the sim and just go wander a bit? Maybe even fly about, because you'll get faster movement that way. And
absolutely.
Thank you much.
Mm-hmm. Assuming I can figure out how to fly. I think I just fell through the ground. I'm sort of flying.
Hold on. Let me pull you back.
I got it. I got it.
She is a wonderful person, though doesn't spend as much time screwing around in here as I do, so... You sure you don't want that teleport?
I teleported on my own.
Excellent. Alright. Well, if you can hop back down through my little teleport access there. Wait, you're already moving around. Where are you?
I don't know. I don't know how to go down.
Hold on. Okay. Well, you are successfully flying about then. So, if you just randomly fly about, and I do the same, it will let those watching this video see the dots representing our relative positions moving about as part of one of my buildings proceeds to res in place. And there you can see two different dots tracking our relative position on the sim in real time as I attempt to catch up to enter the blast radius. You know my sense of humor. You knew the jokes were coming.
Yeah, I know, but that's how you get burned.
Ow.
Or exploded.
Did you set out those ships for just now, or were those sitting out here?
I don't even know how.
Fair. I'll clean them up later. But means maybe somebody actually randomly visited my sim. As I get used to figuring which direction you're in. There you are. So, as you see, our dots syncing up rather nicely. So, that is how you would build a tracking system that can identify anything you can get the position of, you can track using this system in real time, like a cinematic GPS. I am going to head back to the loft. Would you care to join me?
Yeah, but since I don't know my way around your city, I'm just going to teleport. Oh, you offered me one. Cool. Thank you.
Teleport is how I got there. So, thank you very much, Blast, for being willing to be a part of this.
No problem.
Anybody who wants to leave comments about this remarkable avatar she is wearing?
Which you made. With
Not
your
entirely.
fantastic...
We bought the parts. I'm only responsible for some of the texturing and helping you find things. The overall look is your own design. So, that's it for this week. So, hope y'all come back. As usual, these videos are up Tuesdays by noon Eastern Standard Time. Wednesdays by noon, you should have one of my Coder Kitty Decoded videos where I go through the specific syntax and arguments of different commands, just as a quick reference guide. So that'll do it for this week. As usual, good day, good luck, happy coding. Meow meow.